Y'all digging the fit? I know I am. I think the Crocs complete it. So I did not post yesterday. It's true. But there is a valid excuse. I had a monstrous essay to write last night. I grinded it out. I did the entire essay in the 5 hours before it was due last night. Ooh, some of my best work. I like to push my limits, and that's a good thing. But I did try filming yesterday. I filmed it in a different car, actually. But that car, the interior is black. And let me tell you, all the light was just absorbed. I was this single pale entity in the middle of the frame. There was nothing. So we're refilming today. So this video, I'm going to be discussing all the places I'm going to visit before I die. There is a very long list here. This might end up getting cut into 2 parts because this list is very long and I am on another time limit because this is finals week and personal time just doesn't exist anymore. But my method to my madness, and it is madness, is every time I come across a location that I want to visit someday, I just Google it and then I open up a new tab. So what I've ended up with is tabs upon tabs upon tabs of locations, and I need to sort it out because if I lose this phone, my entire future is lost. That being said, there's no particular order to this. It's just in whatever order these locations come in the endless stream of tabs. A lot of these locations are not in America or in English-speaking countries, and so a lot of the names are gonna be hard to pronounce, and we just have to accept that, and we just have to know that I'm not gonna pronounce all of them correctly. Okay, up first, we got Lausanne, Switzerland. Most of these places I find in traveling posts on Instagram, and I just see a picture and I'm like, oh, that's so pretty, I need to go there. And this was the case with Lausanne, Switzerland. It has this massive waterfall and it's just this town in the middle of a valley and it just looks magical, like fairies dwell there. And so I want to dwell there too. Okay, second one I think is Costge, Greece. I think that what I looked this one up for is I saw this video on like National Geographic at Costge, Greece, and they have these underwater caves that when it's sunny out, the water reflects off of the limestone and it looks magical and pretty, and like some witches definitely did some brewing there and like it's a curse. Or like, do you remember that pool from like H2O, just add water? That's what it looks like. This next one's in China and it's called the Golongxia Scenic Area. That was very far off the mark in pronunciation, I'm gonna tell you that right now. But it's basically this big platform that you can walk out onto and see this beautiful waterfall in like the middle of the rainforest, and it looks amazing. I think there's quite a few waterfalls on this list actually, but this one's so special because your walkout, I think that the floor is made of glass so you can see everything below you, which is just so trippy and freaky, and I want to experience that. Next, I want to go to the Atacama Chile salt lagoons. It's just this place in Chile and it's these big salt flats, and then they have these pools in there, and because there's so much salt in them, you float and you can just chill on these pools in this like big salt flat area in Chile. And you know, all of the Instagram photos have like gorgeous sunsets and like reflecting off the water, that kind of vibe. I need to be that level of Instagram baddie, you know what I mean? Like travel to Chile just for the photos. And also the food, like, oh. Did you know that the national sport of Chile is the rodeo? Can you imagine going to a rodeo in Chile? They're fun in America because it's, you know, like wild, wild west, but like Chile? That's gotta be some next level rodeoing right there. Next, we have Haleakala National Park. This is a national park in Hawaii. What more can I say? What more could you want? You already have everything you need to know to want to go there just from me saying that. I saw this girl on TikTok climb to the top of a volcano in Hawaii and she was above the clouds. It was sunrise and then the color of the sun reflected off of the clouds and it just looked like this endless, beautiful, like, scape, and she's, like, on the top of a volcano, and I'm like, I want to do that. I need to be there. So, Haleakala National Park, I'm coming for you. Man, I'm pretty sure I pronounced that right. I mean, like, 2 years of attempting to learn Hawaiian paid off. Okay, next, I'm gonna be going to Old Harry Rocks, England. That's such a fun name. I was sold on going there before I even saw what it looked like, just from the name. So it's kind of this long peninsula. I think it's a peninsula. I don't think it's an island. And it goes out and there's these rock structures that go out into the ocean. It just looks like some real magical Lord of the Rings type stuff over here. And so Old Harry Rocks, the destination to be at. This next one I'm so excited for. The Costge Flower Park in Japan. Oh my god, Google it right now. Stop this. Google it right now. This is something straight out of Tinkerbell. Everything's just covered in wildflowers. It looks so gorgeous. And I know that I could probably find something equivalent to this in America because flower parks are very common. But the fact that this is in Japan, it just makes it sweeter. And so I want to travel there just for this park. And imagine how good it would smell. Again, the Instagram pictures you could take there. Can you imagine being a park ranger there? Hold up, did I just find my future job? The next one is the polar opposite of the previous one, but the Door to Hell gas crater. What it is essentially this like big crater of gas, and like 40 years ago scientists like basically lit a match and threw it in just to see it burn, and they thought it were gonna burn for like a couple hours, maybe a couple days, maybe a couple weeks max, and 40 years later it's still burning. And to go there at night and just to see that crater of burning gas, I mean, I wonder if it smells bad. Probably does, but it looks super cool and I would bring so many marshmallows. Next one is the Pharaoh Islands, or the Pharaoh Islands. I was watching a game show the other day and they were like, what are you gonna do if you win the money? And he was like, I'm gonna go to the Pharaoh Islands. And I was like, no way! Because I wanted to go here for so long. The guy described it as Iceland, except nobody goes there, which I feel is pretty accurate from what I've seen. I know they're kind of growing in popularity, so I hope they're not big tourist destinations by the time I get there, because I feel like the magic in them is that they're just so isolated. And I feel like that's the kind of place where people just grow sheep on the mountainside. And specifically, there's this place called Jornvik, I think is how they say it. And it's this pretty basin with this little town in there. And oh, can you imagine that on a foggy morning? Oh. This next one I definitely don't know how to pronounce, because I want to say Dordogne, but it's in France, so it's definitely fancier than that. It's probably like Dordogne, France. I have a cousin who speaks French and she's gonna slaughter me for that. I feel like there are so many places in France that are underrated because France is such a beautiful country from what I gather, but everyone just goes to Paris. Not that I'm sure Paris isn't amazing, but there's a huge country that I feel goes unexplored because everyone is just drawn to Paris and the novelty of Paris. But this place looks amazing. There's like kayaking, there's like river, there are castles. One thing that I wish America had is I wish we had a bunch of old buildings and castles and cobblestone roads, because in these like really old countries that have a lot of history that goes back thousands and thousands of years, you can find all of these super old structures and places that have been preserved and have so much history in them and are so gorgeous. America, we're a relatively new country, and so we don't have a lot of that. We have, you know, buildings that are like 200 years old, but never more than that. I need some of this old pubs, brick road type vibe. That's what my Pinterest board is full of, and I feel like this place in France can satisfy that for me. I think this next one is called Uyuni Falls. It's in Bolivia, and I don't think it's an actual waterfall like its name might imply, but it's this big salt flat, again, kind of like the one in Chile, and it's covered in water, and there are all these super cool pictures where the sky is reflected onto the expanse of water, and it just looks like something out of a fever dream. Like, it's crazy. And I feel like the cool thing about there being an infinite like reflection around you is you can pretend that you're like walking on the sky and that above you is the ground. You know what I mean? That kind of trippy stuff. Okay, next place is Goblin Valley, Utah. The thing about Arizona and Utah is that they have these huge national parks. For example, the Grand Canyon, we all know that. And they have these like beautiful desertous rock structures. And Goblin Valley, Utah has a bunch of these. It's loaded. It looks like a maze. It's a natural maze that Mother Earth made and put there. And to play hide and go seek here would be amazing. Would we get lost? Yes. Would we get bitten by poisonous snakes? Yes. Will it have been worth it? Yes, because this place looks amazing. Next one. I believe it's Alberobello, Italy. I mentioned this location in my Italian video, and if you look up even one picture of this, just all the houses are uniform and white and super crazy looking. But it's very cute. It's like if cottagecore were a location, this is what it would be. I feel like just walking the streets there would give me unbelievable amounts of serotonin. I need to learn Italian first, although I kind of did give that up. I don't want to eat Italian food. I don't want to swim in the blue waters of the Mediterranean. Oops. Ahaha. I want to go to the Sea Cliff Bridge Secret Lookout in Australia. I saw a TikTok of a person showing how to get to this location. All the Australians in the comments were like, no, don't do it. Now it's a tourist location. You ruined the magic of it. And on one hand, I'm like, yeah, that sucks when that happens. But on the other hand, I really want to go there. So I'm very thankful to whoever made that TikTok. And it's just this place in Australia that looks out onto the water and the freeways below. And it just looks like this super awesome lookout. And so if and when I go to Australia, I will make a detour to make sure I go here. I want to go to the ice castles in Minnesota. Bro, you don't even know. These look so cool. I want to go here very badly. I'm pretty sure I'd have to buy special shoes there, but it's exactly what it sounds like. An ice castle. And there's all these lookouts and you can explore it. And at night, when it's dark out, they put lights in the castle that are different colors and it like reflects off of the ice and it looks so beautiful. And I can just imagine being in here and having a huge smile plastered onto my face the entire time. Because again, it's just an ice maze. Who doesn't want that? Next we'll be going to White Sands National Monument, New Mexico. It's just these sand dunes, but the sand is white. And that just sounds so cool to me. It looks otherworldly. It looks like you're on a different planet. It doesn't seem like it should be real. And so to experience that and be there in this endless scape of white sand sounds amazing. Next up is Ha Long Bay, Vietnam.